Welcome back to the channel. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna start this video by saying I'm so sorry, because I said I would make lots of videos and this is only my second one, and I leave for Korea in 3 months. But welcome back. This is going to be a video about my program that I'm studying abroad with, and I'm going to go into depth about like the costs associated with that and the process that I had to go through for this program. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's start off with the preliminary applications, which is, in my opinion, kind of unnecessary, but I think it's like a screening process to see if you'll be a good fit for the program. So once again, my program is ASSE. It's American Scandinavian Student Exchange. They have like 50 plus countries that you can go to. I chose Korea. So during the preliminary applications, you send your like address and they'll be like, we're gonna send you a brochure. And here it is. This is the brochure. So it's like a couple pages long. And by a couple, I mean it's like 30 pages. And you can apply online or through the mail. And so if you apply through the mail, you have to fill out this page and like cut it out and send it. And the preliminary applications really just ask you like your age, your gender, your hobbies, and then they get into like, do you smoke, and if you have any health issues or disabilities or mental health issues. I know I do. And so after you get like applied and everything, after your preliminary application, you get assigned a coordinator, and they're the person that's really going to help you through this process of application. So all the pre-departure stuff. So by the end of it, you'll have 2 coordinators, one in Korea or your destination, wherever you're planning on applying to, and one in the United States that helps you prepare to go. So my coordinator's name is Tracy. She's super sweet. I got pretty lucky because one of the main offices for ASSE is right down the road from my house, so it's pretty nice. Anything that they need to send me gets here within like a day, and to kind of prepare you. So the preliminary application is super easy, just a few like questions, and it's just super easy. And then the application starts, and you have to fill out so many forms, and they have to be like, I can't say that they're like have to be perfect, but they're pretty nitpicky about like whether or not like it's like perfect or not. So I had to redo my forms a couple times because like I accidentally like marked something twice, and so I mean, it is what it is. But just so you're aware of that, and after you finish the forms, there's an in-person interview with your coordinator, and my coordinator just came to my house and we talked for a little bit about what I'm expecting and if I had any questions, and she asked me questions about like, I think there was one where it was like, your host mom makes you food and it's really gross, what do you do? And so it's like scenario based questions, so it's pretty easy, and the interview goes pretty quickly. And I honestly don't know what the interview is for, because you're already accepted into the program. So I mean, it once again, it is what it is. I have no clue what it's for, but it happened, and I guess it's more for like questions that you may have. And speaking of questions, it's one of the reasons why I really like my program is anytime I have a question, I can just text or call or email my coordinator super quickly, and they get back to you super quickly as well. So that's really nice. I really enjoy that part. Okay, so after you finish your second application, your deposit is due. It's not technically due, but it's due. So like, you should probably pay your deposit sooner rather than later, because then they can send your application abroad and they can start searching for a host family. So yes, so for spring academic years, it is due in September. So I think it's September 1st. Let me double check in my handy dandy brochure that they gave me. It is September. Okay, the deposit that you have to pay whenever you submit your application is $750. Now for me, I'm doing a year-long program. So year and semester-long programs are both $1,500 for the deposit. The full price is a lot heavier, so just so you can prepare yourself for when I tell you how much I have to pay. So after you pay your deposit, you do start receiving a lot of more information. I'm pretty sure they used to send out like physical packets, but now they just send them by email because of COVID, which is fine. It is what it is. And so I think the first one I got was like, present yourself well, I guess. So I actually got sent the final packet for my first packet, and I was like, what? But they did fix it. But the final packet talks a lot about like appearance and how you present yourself. More specifically, it says, are you the same person that you were when you applied? Like, is your host family going to be shocked when you arrive because now your hair's different or you have new piercings, which I thought was kind of interesting. I feel like it shouldn't matter that much, like if you change your appearance a little bit before you go. But once again,
it is what it is.
Yes, your application is sent to KISE, which is the Korean side of the exchange. So they will start searching for a host family, and you have to start gathering all your documents that you need to travel. So I'm talking visas, passports, all that stuff. And with COVID happening right now, it's a little bit more stressful because it takes a little bit longer to get your passports. But if you apply early enough for your passports and visas and stuff, you should be able to get it in time. And if not, then you can delay your departure until you get it. It's very important. Obviously, you cannot live in Korea unless you have your visa, and you can't go to Korea unless you have your passport. So you have to get those prepared during your waiting period for going to Korea. So the cost of the Korea spring academic year is now $12,500. When I applied in March 2020, it was only $11,950, and they raised the price. I don't know why they raised the price, but they did. So it's just a little bit more. I'm not sure if anything changed like in regards to like accommodations, but the price was raised. So how am I paying for this? So this is something that a lot of people like seem to struggle with, because like, how are you going to pay this amount of money for such, I'm not gonna say a trivial thing, because it is a big deal. It's a fantastic opportunity, but it's not a necessity. So my parents, at least, were very like, oh no, we're not gonna let you do this because that's ridiculously expensive. That's like college tuition. And I was like, all right, fair enough. And so I went to my uncle and I was like, hey uncle, can you help me pay? And he said yes. He said yes. So I've paid about $2,000 of the tuition. He's going to pay the rest. I do have a job. I work at Target.
But
there are scholarships. You just have to apply soon. Like, I think the deadlines for scholarships,
I don't know when the deadlines are. I don't know.
So there are scholarships. I just don't know when the deadlines are. I think for like the spring academic year, I think the cutoff for scholarships was like March. So I was like right on the deadline, and that's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen, and my non-binary friends. It is what it is. So yes, there are scholarships, and I think that's pretty nice. I don't know if they're like partial or like entire, like full ride scholarships, but there are scholarships nonetheless. And there's different ways that you can fundraise to help pay for this. Personally, instead of asking for gifts for Christmas, I'd be like, hey, y'all want to give me some money? And start saving. Save early. Because right now, I've already paid what I need to pay, but I am working really hard to to save up money. That way I can do fun things when I get there, because you don't want to just be in Korea, you want to do things while you're there. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working towards that. Oh, and a big part that I forgot to mention is that because your host family is a volunteer host family, meaning they're not getting paid to house you, it does take a little bit longer to find a host family. So I depart in 3 months and I still don't have a host family. However, I will say this, my coordinator said that if they do not find me a permanent host family by the time I depart, I will instead live with a welcome family. So I'll live with a family for like a couple weeks until I'm able to find a permanent residence. So not that worried about that. Maybe I should be. So yeah, that's really all for this video. If you have any questions, let me know down below in that comment section, ladies and gentlemen, and I will try my best to answer your questions. If you have any recommendations for a next video, because I really don't know what to do, yeah, so just like let me know, I guess. 아, 그리고 제 한국 친구들 진짜 미안해요. 요즘에 너무 바빴어. 제 브이로그 아직 안 했어요. 네, 진짜 미안해요. 죄송합니다. Okay, yeah, so that's all it for the video, y'all. Catch you later.